Man, they always be hearing about Fatman from the Holler. He lives in the Holler. Well, yeah, I do live in the Holler. Live in a hell of a place called Dirtville, Trailerhood. This place is crazy. All kind of crazy stuff happens. Nowadays, it ain't as bad as it was, but it takes a lot of bad to get rid of bad, you know. It's like United States military going in there and fucking nuking Osama bin Laden. Yep. They had to kill Osama bin Laden off to get rid of bad. It's like bad meets ugly, you know what I'm saying? Or good meets evil. Or evil meets bad. Don't matter. It's all the same. It's where something worse, it meets something worse. And then you recycle out the bad, and then you get something a little dumber in your life. This is out in the Fatman from the Hollerville, out in the country. And you probably can't hear nothing over my truck because it's loud, an old, raggedy truck. But I don't care. I'm out having fun anyway. You see all my neighbors' houses. This is what it's like when you live out in the country in Fatman in Hollerville. You see, boys, there's the Fatman from the Holler's house through the busted windshield and all. Here we are having a little ball. I'm always out. So I always say, you know, you want people to connect with you. If you want people to know you, you want people to connect with you, man, I got something a lot of these people. See, I'm getting ready to drive off up in the woods. Them dummies, the people don't understand. If you want to connect with your fans, guess what? You got to let them know a little bit about where you come from. You come from Trailerhood. Come from a land of nothing, and they call it Dirtville because there ain't nothing here. But guess what? 20-something years ago, I wanted to move to town. Now where I live, Millersburg, Missouri. We got a little Dollar General, all kind of stores there. I'm out here in the backwoods of the Trailerhood. This is where I live. You see the broken windshield again, it's doing a double take, saying, hey, look at me, I'm photobombing. You gotta have fun. And I don't care. You can see my house, I don't care. Like, out in the woods, this is where I live. This is how I am. This is where I always be. People try to screw it up. They try to build all around me. They can have all kind of money and build everything they want to build around me. But you know what, man? I love where I live. When I was a kid, I could walk from my house to Little Dixie Lake. And check this out. When I walked to Little Dixie Lake, and this is in the 90s, I'm 42 years old. This ain't been a whole lot of years. You got all these people commuting from Fulton to Columbia, and my town, the Millersburg, intersects like a T. You can go to Jeff City, where the state capital is. You can go to Columbia and all these little small towns, people commute and everything. But you know what they did? They made a living hell for the people who live out here because they always forget the golden rule. Forget the golden rule. Universal currency is respect. The golden rule. Because everybody's a tough guy behind the steering wheel until they get punched in the eye. That's just something I don't try to break the rules. There's the back of Fatman from the Holler's Woods. Yeah, you want people to know you gotta connect with them on a real level. And guess what? I ain't God and I ain't nobody sophisticated. Man, I have a bunch of little goofy hobbies. I'm on YouTube for fun. Some people be like talking some random stupid shit to me, and it's like you expect me to have a response when you're acting like a fool. You know, you can talk all the shit you want on me, but guess what? At least I got balls to say, hey, look, this is what the fuck I do. I have hobbies, ambitions. I'm an artist. I airbrush. I paint cars. I make fishing weights. I make homemade arrows. I have solar power kit. It's Thunderbolt kit bought from Harbor Freight. And have cannon equipment. I have chickens, ducks. My little mini farm that I've worked on building for quite many years. And guess what? I'm pretty self-efficient. And they talk about like when COVID and all that stuff went down, here's how COVID affected me. It didn't affect me. COVID didn't affect me exactly one bit. See, this is the view of my road. And then we're turning to Fatman from the Holler's house. And they're like, how did COVID affect you? Yeah, COVID initially affected me by not affecting me because I didn't let it. And then here's my house, and then there's my little wood stove shed, my red 4-wheel drive to put the headers on my other video, 3/4 ton that I painted where all the stupid metal flake didn't work. There's my $700 garage over there. But anyway, how COVID affected me wasn't initially affecting me at all, but how it affected me was psychologically. Because I ended up getting COVID. My dad almost died from COVID. My mother had COVID. I had to miss working at Dollar General having COVID. More than likely, I got it at work, considering I don't drive to town. And when I do go to town, I go to Columbia, which is like 15-minute drive. I may go to leave Millersburg maybe a whole whopping 3 times a year. I go to Walmart once a year. I go to a hardware store maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And I shop at the local hardware store we have here in Millersburg. Shout out to Jones Farm Home in Idaho. Some great people, Russ and his family, and Julie. And I stay out here where I belong. I don't have to be in no city. I have no interior reason for being in the city. And I enjoy life. When that COVID kicked off, it ruined my life. I never had a clock-in job in almost a decade. Done body work and everything. And when I had that clock-in job, I never ran a cash register in my life. I started at the craziest time I could possibly learn how to run a cash register. Christmas time. And then from there, I was working there, and around March, this COVID thing happened. From there, I made fun of it. I made other songs about it, and I made pictures of it, and I dogged on it. And then by the time December rolled around, from 1 year of starting to 2020, the 2020 mark. Actually, I should say it right. December 19th, 2019, I started, and the first year was 2020. But the end of the year of 2020 is by the time the shit started unraveling, having COVID and being talked to like shit about it, and people he worked for thinking he's lying. It's like, look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Maybe I said some offensive stuff to y'all on Facebook because I don't like coming in all the fucking time, and then you guys is mad because I get a whole lot of days off and you're there every day. Here's the initial deal. I work somewhere part-time 2 or 3 days, and I come in 2 or 3 days extra that I don't have to. Then I'm working 6 days in a row, and then I'm pissed off. Guess what? Part-time, I offered to do it. I knew what I was taking on, but I wasn't very happy about doing it. I was basically suckered and begged into doing it. And I don't hate people for that. I don't like it when somebody thinks I'm a liar because they are. If you want to be telling lies and stories on me, I'm telling you right now, ask me, and I'll tell you straight out how I am. Most people can't say how they feel because they're scared of the government, they're scared of everything, scared of persecution from their family, their friends. I don't even care because I was persecuted upon birth. I'm the youngest of my grandpa's 5. My grandpa had 5 children. He had 3 sons and 2 daughters. I'm the very youngest grandson, the last of my grandfather and grandma's children. Persecuted every which way. They all talk. I have family. Some of them good, some of them bad. I heard a lot of bullshit from a lot of them about me, saying, oh yeah, he's a wild kid. He ought to be put in a home. He's bad. He's this and that. And I listen to them talk shit on everybody, and then they're like, hey, come to the family reunion. Do you not realize I listened to 20 years of your mouths? And then after mostly all y'all are dead, I don't want to be around it. And I don't go to funerals to communicate with y'all. So all I had to do, not to see y'all, is not go to funerals. Because I rather remember people how I remember them in my heart of them being alive. Because I'd rather not go through that. And then, I don't like to talk emotionally about myself. But when you have people following you on YouTube, you want to know who you're dealing with. You want to make sure, people like to know the integrity of a man. I'm just a hobbyist. I make music. I'm not professional doing nothing. I don't claim to be. I'm not on here saying this is how you fix a car doing this. I just have simple ways of doing it on a small scale that's affordable for me to do. And if I inspire somebody else to do it or give them some hints or help, or anything I do to help somebody where I need to help, where had to learn it myself or go out into the field and doing body work, doing carpenter work, and I have to learn this stuff on my own. That sucks, because 2 things, if you get somebody crappy teaching, you're going to have a problem. But if you really want to be the best of your best, all you got to do is be a greater self. And greater self means, guess what? When you're a young man and you want to learn how to be a carpenter, a mechanic, work, all kinds of stuff, all you have to do is go out and do like an internship. Go out and work for a bunch of hard working jobs and get paid that $10, $12, $13, $14 an hour. Slave labor, hard work, but guess what? Is you do it, you're creating a catalyst. It's like putting catalyst in concrete. You're building your foundation, and you're getting the concrete, all the ingredients ready to pour. And once you build it, you create yourself. And so many people I've grown up around, they created their own destruction. They carry their own instruction. I mean, I created my own instruction. People can say this and that, and they can do anything they want and be like, blah, blah, blah. And they can talk about me and say, I'm this and that. You can go on CaseNet, look up Jamie Marvin's app. Guess what? I have 5 charges on there. Speeding ticket, safety belt ticket, same day. DWI, stealing when I was a teenager. I'm wrecking a vehicle when I had a permit and I was underage. And guess what? The stealing thing was a pack of cigarettes. The dude talked me into it. I'll give you $10 for it. And he helped get me caught because his family worked there. And they thought it was all a big game. And then I had like a warrant for my arrest put out and all kind of different stuff. But here's the deal. The cop wrote the wrong date of birth on there. I said 1977, I was born in 79. In the state of Missouri, it's illegal to charge a minor for an adult crime, which I don't really care, but I do care. They should be sued. And every time I do anything against anybody that's done wrong to me, then like a whole bunch of people can't take what they did. I take the justice of anything I do. I take the repercussions of it. I did my community service. I paid my fines. I went through harassment. I went through being dogged and having people talk all kinds of ridiculous shit on me. But guess what? I walked that line. And I've done a lot of bad shit when I was young. And I mean, the stuff I see the youngsters doing nowadays on TV and all over, shit they do is way worse. But I was doing pretty stupid stuff because I grew up in the country and it was wild. And these city kids, they're always acting like that. It's tough. And I just consider them punks because what do they know about going down the road about 18, doing 90 mile an hour, getting drunk, chewing and spitting and drinking and fighting. They ain't know shit about none of that. They don't act like it's this and that. I just lived a dirty life. I lived a dirty life, and then I found the true life was when I started coming honest with myself. I had to lose everybody. And there's a lot of people I was friends with. And there's a handful of good people that I was mean to when I was drunk, or I made fun of something, made them mad, and we had falling outs. There's some genuine people in my life, but there's a lot of backstabbing, treachery, and a lot of it. And I mean, when I was growing up, people always talked about gangsters and stuff like that, how gangsters are bad people, motorcycle clubs are bad people, gangs and all the people that I'm affiliated with and I've known throughout my life, all the people they call bad people are some of the most honest stand-up people that I would stand behind. I don't respect child molesters, rapists, thieves, people that abuse children, the handicapped or elderly, or kill innocent people. Stuff like that is unwritten bullshit. That's an unwritten code. I will not tolerate you. I will not be around you. Don't come around me, because in the holler, it won't be a nice ending, I promise. But, that said, the people that I met that I was always told was bad are actually the good people, and the people I know my whole life are sometimes, they're worse. They've done worse things to me than the people that would initially kill me. They're like, well, if you're in the mob, they'll kill you. If you're part of this club, if you're in this motorcycle club, or you know this person, they'll kill you. But deep down, some of the people that sometimes I'm kin to or close friends with, they stab me in the back bigger than anything. But I just live by the code. And this is me. If you like me, subscribe and follow. And I got love for y'all. Because guess what? I ain't out here to hurt none of y'all. If there's anything possibility I could do to inspire you to have a better life for yourself, for your children, or addiction, or whatever problem you're going through, I'll do it. Because guess what? I can't change the world. I can only control my little piece of it. Much love. I'm out.